In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to apply and get approved for the American Express Business Platinum Card. Not the personal one, the business one. And in today's video, we're simply just gonna cover three things. Number one, who this card is for. Number two, what are like the expected credit limits you can get. Here's the thing, it's a charge card, so there's no credit limit. So we'll get to that here in the video. And then number three, how to apply, when to apply, and how to get approved. So first things first, let's talk about who this card is for. So with the American Express Business Platinum Card, obviously you want to be a business owner. So that could be a sole proprietorship. Maybe you had your business kind of up and off the ground running for the last couple of years. You never turned it into an entity as official like an LLC. This could be for a person who has an LLC. This also can be for someone who has a corporation, S Corp, C Corp, incorporated, etc. Right? So basically, in a nutshell, this card is for a business owner. This card is not for anyone who's watching who doesn't own a business. But if you aspire to own a business, you just started your business yesterday, this card is going to be for you, right? However, there is a little caveat to it, and we'll get to that in this video. And so with this particular credit card, sorry guys, something in my eye. With this particular credit card, I want to let you guys know up front, it does have an annual fee, right? So what does that mean that a card has an annual fee? That means that it costs you money in order to have this card. Unlike your traditional banks like Navy Federal or Bank of America, a lot of your personal credit cards out there, and even some of your business credit cards, they don't have an annual fee. American Express charge cards, most of them have an annual fee. So like the Business Platinum and the Business Gold, right? The Business Platinum has the most expensive annual fee outside of Centurion card. And this annual fee is $695 per year. Right? So I know some of you watching are probably going to drop off this video because you're like, oh, I'm good. I don't want to pay $695. But hold on, before you do that, let me explain something to you. It's worth it, in my personal opinion, if you are spending on this card for dining, restaurants, travel, flights, etc. I think that it's worth it because we'll go over some of the benefits that are on this card. But it is $695. And if you apply and get approved for this card today, just know that on your first statement, you are going to see a $695 annual fee that is due within the first 30 days. So if you get this card, get approved, this card gets delivered to you, and I have a few of them myself, and let's say you spend $1,000 on it. By the end of the month, you're going to have $1,000 plus $695 due on your first bill. So I don't want to necessarily scare anybody who's trying to apply for this card, but just know that you see a lot of the people on the internet talking about, get the Business Platinum card, get this, it's easy to get approved for. Yes, however, it does cost you money, right? So that's the first part. That's the first part of it. So this card is for business owners or aspiring business owners who are going to use this card for travel, for spend, for dining, for restaurants, etc. There's a lot of other perks to this card as well. So let's jump into question number two. Number two is, what is the expected credit limit? So on this particular card, right? Obviously, this is the Business Platinum card. The expected credit limit on a card like this is there isn't one, right? So American Express charge cards have a thing called spending power, which is a lot different than your actual spending limit because it could be unlimited, right? And with that being said, this is not a card where you get approved and you're like, oh, I got oops, sorry guys. I got a credit limit of nothing and I can literally just spend whatever I want, however I want to spend on it. No, American Express does monitor how much you spend, especially in the first couple months. Actually, every single day, American Express is monitoring your spend on this card, whether you've had this card for 10 years or you just got it today. So if you did get approved, they have a thing called spending power. You can actually reach out to them via the text message chat. You can call them over the phone. You can, basically request how much spending power you have through the app as well. And the way you do that is you simply ask them, or it says check spending power once you get approved. And then once you get approved, you put in the purchase amount that you want to probably make a purchase for. So if you're just now getting introduced to the American Express ecosystem, I would highly and strongly suggest that you do not make an immediate big purchase, meaning that if you see a purchase for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, I wouldn't do that, but maybe see if you can spend $2,000, $3,000 on it. Spend, get whatever product or service that you're looking to pay for, and then immediately pay it back right back. American Express does like frequent payments. They love it, right? Because it shows that you are responsible and it shows that you're not a risk, even though you haven't been introduced to their ecosystem until today, right? So expected credit limits on a charge card. It varies between everyone. It varies on your personal profile, your business profile, etc. However, um, it's a very good card to be introduced to the American Express ecosystem versus automatically going for their 0% for 12 months cards like the Blue Cash and the Blue Plus. This particular card is the metal card, right? This is the big boy when people are sitting down at restaurants and they slap it on the table and it makes that cha-ching noise. This is that card alongside the gold card. So when we're talking about expected credit limits, just know that it has spending power. So treat this card very wise because your spending power actually grows over time. The more you use and pay back, and you do it frequently, the higher your spending power is, right? I've seen people with spending power as high as $500,000. So what does that mean? That means that if they put in the amount for $500,000 because they have a purchase, it will allow that purchase to go through, right? So use American Express wisely. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually jump into last but not least number 3, and that is how to apply and get approved. A lot of you probably clicked this video because you wanted to know how to get approved for American Express card. So let's talk about the prerequisites before we share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Prerequisites. Still didn't say it right. Prerequisites or requirements. 700 plus credit score, I personally recommend, right? I know some people with a 680 can apply and get approved. However, before you apply for any credit card, especially on my channel, if you guys look at any of the videos that I put out, you want to always go in basically completely optimized and don't prematurely apply for credit cards, whether it's personal or business or even business lines of credit, term loans, SBA loans, etc. You want to make sure that your credit profile is squeaky clean. So that means that you don't want to have any negatives, no derogatories, no late payments, no collections, no charge-offs, not even a bankruptcy. Side note, if you have ever filed bankruptcy and American Express was in that bankruptcy, you can kiss American Express goodbye. They actually blacklist you from ever getting a product or service from them again if you included them in a bankruptcy. I have a client right now, 850 credit score, had American Express 20 years ago, filed bankruptcy, and unfortunately, even to this day, with 850, and this is a real story, he can't get approved for American Express. So just know that it's real. You do not want to burn American Express as a bank. So, but yeah, 700 credit score. I would honestly recommend that you have at least 2 personal credit cards with over a $5,000 limit. Utilization is down on your personal cards. And when I say down, I'm not talking about off, but literally under 10% at the time of application. Not, hey, my credit card balances are high. I made a payment today, it cleared tomorrow, and then I'm going to go apply. No, you want to make sure you're looking at your credit report to make sure that that new balance has been reflected on your credit report and your scores are high. Ideally, the higher the credit score, the better you are, right? So if it's above 700, limits are low, no negatives, low inquiries, especially on Experian or TransUnion, the better you are. However, a little side note, a lot of people talk about this. American Express is not stingy with inquiries, meaning that if you got 10 inquiries on Experian, can you apply for American Express and get approved? Yes, because you're ideally just looking at your credit profile. So let's share my screen. Let's kind of talk about it really quick, right? So what you want to do, and this is a little secret hack for you guys as well, you want to go to American Express and you want to go to cards and you want to go to view business cards, and you're basically just going to select the business platinum card. That's one way you can do it. And it's also going to show you how you can earn 150,000 membership rewards points. I'm not going to break that down in this video. I am going to do a separate video breaking down the benefits of American Express cards and their membership rewards portal. However, this card, if approved, will get you 150,000 membership points after you spend $20,000 on eligible purchases with your card in the first 3 months, meaning that this card is really designed for big spenders, right? You got to spend 20K in the first 3 months on eligible purchases. Majority of your purchases are going to be eligible, so don't try to figure out what's eligible and what's not. But you have to spend it in the first 3 months. If you don't spend it, it's kind of like one of those things you lost 150,000, which on a membership scale, this could be worth 150,000 on the 1-to-1 ratio is worth $1,500. But if you scale your points the right way and you leverage transfer partners, this could stretch, $2,000 to $3,000 worth of value just by spending 20K in the first 3 months, and you're getting those points and learning how to travel hack, right? So great thing about American Express, they just recently, maybe in the last year or so, came out with a pre-qualification, meaning that you can know if you're approved with no personal score impact, meaning that this is not going to be a hard inquiry on your personal credit report, right? And so you'll learn if you got approved, and I still think that if you do get approved, they will put a hard inquiry. But you can learn if you get approved. That way, you can make an educated decision to say, okay, I'm gonna go for it with it. and I'll go ahead and apply for the card. And then what you're going to do is just click that apply now button, right? And that's fairly it. Let me see if I can click it real quick. All right, so what you're gonna do is just fill out this information here. Always put in your email address. You wanna put in your legal business name, your business name that you wanna have on the card, your company DBA. And this is completely up to you. If you have a DBA, put the DBA in there. Most of the time when I'm helping out my clients, we are just putting in their legal business name and business name on card. If you are a sole proprietorship, what you're gonna put in for legal business name is your first and last name, right? Legal business name on card, put your first and last name. But make sure you put your correct email address in here. I do skip the company does not have a DBA. I click off of that. And then business address, if you have a business address, put that there. If your business address is your home address, put in your home address. I know majority of my videos talk about the same thing. If you are using your home address, that's perfectly fine, even if you have an apartment, right? This isn't 2005 where they literally were denying applications because you didn't have a physical address. Most businesses now are business owners that may work from home, right? So put your home address in here if your home address is your business address. If you have a virtual address, put that in here as well. Industry type, you're going to basically select what is your industry, right? Agriculture, construction, finance, real estate, insurance services, manufacturing, etc. I can't tell you which one is going to be for your business. However, just choose wisely. Make sure you choose the right one, right? Company structure, corporation, partnership, sole proprietorship. Those are your only three options. So if you're watching this and you have an LLC, you might want to select corporation. You might want to select partnership if it's you and somebody else on the LLC. If it's a sole proprietorship, put sole proprietorship, right? Majority of you that have an entity are probably going to select corporation, okay? Years in business, right? It's self-explanatory. And then number of employees, if it's just you, put one, right? Gross annual business revenue. Here's the thing, be honest, all right? I'm not going to tell you guys what's the data points to put here and put here. I'm not going to be that guy because it's all very dependent on your business, right? So put your gross business annual revenue, estimated monthly spend. If you know that you're going to spend, I don't know, it could be $5,000 a month on the card or $20,000 a month. Put that number here. That's your estimated monthly spend, right? Put your EIN, right? If everybody who's watching this, if you have an LLC or corporation, you have an EIN number. If you are a sole proprietorship, you can have a sole proprietorship with an EIN. However, some of you may not have any of that, and you're just going to put your social in here. So for partnerships and corporations, EIN is required to open American Express business account. If not, put in your social. And then for rolling company, general manager, owner, partner, president, treasurer, vice president, etc. And the rest is just going to be all your personal information here, right? So what you're going to do is put your phone, date of birth, social, total annual income, personal income, household income, right? You want to put that here. And then tell us where to send your bill. You can put, if you have a physical business and you want that bill to be delivered there, put business. If not, have it delivered to your home. And then once you complete that, you are going to click see if you're approved. However, this is very, very important. I want you guys to know. On this part right here, it talks about the APR, 18.49%. This card is not designed for you to leave a balance on it, right? So what does that mean? Sorry, guys, for my phone. That means that this particular card is for people who are going to use the card and pay it off in the first 30 days. So that way you're not paying any interest. And so most people say, well, how does American Express make money? American Express makes money by the merchants that are allowing individuals like us to use American Express cards at their gas station, at their retail store. American Express charges them a certain percentage. That's why some places don't allow American Express. So that's how they make their money. And they make more money doing it that way than charging you an interest rate, because you're going to have more frequent purchases. And then the interest rate is just on a balance. So please don't leave a balance on this card. If you do, they do have a thing where you can kind of stretch the pay over time, which it kind of helps out in some situations, but ideally American Express doesn't like it. They really want you to use this card and pay it off, right? And then you're going to click on see if you're approved, okay? So with that being said, now that you know exactly how the process goes for leveraging American Express Business Platinum Card, I want you guys to do this. Before you decide to go hit that button and apply for the card, I want you guys to help me out by growing my channel. Just simply subscribe. I'm not asking for likes. I'm not asking for more views. I want you guys to subscribe because I want feedback and information from you all on how I can improve my channel in 2025 at the time of this recording of this video. And then another thing, before you apply for the card, make sure your credit score is at a 700. Make sure that you have your utilization down. Make sure you have some already personal reporting trade lines. and it's ideal for you. And also be sure to know that this card is not for everybody. So if you don't want to pay the annual fee and this card may not be for you, that's perfectly fine. American Express has other cards that would benefit you and your business. And I've done a couple of videos on some of them. So go back to my channel, look at some of the other videos. My job this year in 2025 is to literally do a credit card review on most personal credit cards and majority of the business credit cards out there, especially the most common ones that people are applying for it. So you want to make sure that you're doing it the right way and you're not prematurely applying just to get that denial letter, right? Everybody hates the denial letter. So I challenge everyone, before you go and apply, do it the right way. And please, in the comments below, two things. Let me know if you applied and got approved. And then the second thing is, what other video would you all like me to record to talk about a credit card, a line of credit, etc. And I appreciate you all. Peace.